Good morning to all of you. Today we are going to learn an empire across three continents. Basically, this topic is related with Roman Empire, and this was one of the empire which was more powerful. In fact, during this time, in the contemporary time of Roman Empire, two powerful empires rules over most of Europe, North Africa, and the Middle East in the period between birth of Jesus Christ and the early century of 7th century. So this Roman Empire is known for its diverse culture, diversity in culture. In fact, at that time, Romans and Iranians were rebels, fought against each other. Iranians were the culture of Iran's were not so diverse as the culture of this Roman Empire. So we can say the culture of Roman Empire was more diverse than the Iranian Empire. And if we look about the map, we will see the continent of Rome was very much spread, and we will discuss later about the Mediterranean Sea, which is known as the heart of Roman Empire. If we talk about Roman Empire in detail, we will find the early Roman Empire can broadly be divided into two phases, early and late. Early empire and late empire is divided by 3rd century crisis. So before 3rd century, the conditions of Roman Empire were categorized as early Roman Empire, and the duration after the 3rd century is known as the later Roman Empire. The Roman Empire can be divided into two phases. I have talked to the early and late. The next thing, the difference between Roman Empire and Iranian Empire, as we have told that this Roman Empire was more culturally diverse than Iranian Empire. So this was the major difference between Roman Empire and Iranian Empire. Though the Sapur first of Iranian Empire proclaimed that he has captured 60,000 soldiers of Roman Empire in a war, and in this way Sapur first want to show its supremacy over the Roman Empire. So if in nutshell, if we want to say difference between the Roman Empire and Iranian Empire, we can say the Roman Empire was culturally more sound, more diverse than the Iranian Empire. Augustus 27 BC was the sole ruler. He established the empire in 27 BCE and called himself Principate. Though Augustus was absolute ruler, but in spite of his absoluteness, whole soul, king of Roman Empire, he never become didactic. He never become autocratic. So we will learn the succession of the rulers in next pages, in next videos. Here I have picked up the three players in Roman Empire. There were three players who plays very important role in formulating the the administration of the empire. These were emperor, aristocracy, and army. So emperor, aristocracy, army forms three main players. Emperor's role was very unique, and he was the whole soul man behind the administration, behind the implementations of rules. Aristocracy, a group of people who belong to high class family, who were rich, more influenced, they were known as aristocracy. Third one was army. In fact, the ruler who were able to control the army in Roman Empire were known as successful ruler. So the success of emperor depends on their control of the army. You see, Roman Empire was the empire which have first paid army, regular and paid army. The king of Roman Empire used to give salary to its soldiers, and this was the one of the unique feature about the army of Roman Empire. A special term, conscripted army, is used to describe the another feature of the Roman army. A conscripted army is one which is forcibly recruited. In fact, what is there, military service was compulsory for certain group or categories of the population. Certain categories and populations were supposed to serve army for a certain period, and they have to put their service. It was compulsory for them. So army was also a fate deciding game changer in the reign of Roman Empire. If we talk about the boundaries and geographical map of Roman Empire, you can see here the map of Roman Empire. In the eastern side, you can see the boundary Antioch. In the south of Roman Empire, you can see the Sahara Desert, and in the mid of Roman Empire, you can see the Mediterranean Sea. In fact, this Mediterranean Sea was used for the transportation of items, transportation of goods from one place to another place. This Mediterranean Sea having different ports which were used for which provides routes to the different parts of Roman Empire, and since it was in between of the Roman Empire, that is why Mediterranean Sea is generally called the heart of Roman Empire. heart of Roman Empire. मतलब उस it is its role was very unique in the field of transportation, in making the Roman Empire rich, and since it was in the center of Roman Empire, that is why it is known as heart of Roman Empire. You can fill the outline map of the world, political outline map of the world, and may put it in a notebook. And sometimes one mark questions are framed from this map about the boundaries of Roman Empire. The if you see about the south of the Roman Empire, Sahara Desert is here. In the northern part, the two rivers Danube, and this makes the boundary of northern part of the Roman Empire. Uh, the third century crisis, it is very important topic of this chapter. What do you mean by third century crisis? If the first and second century were by and large a period of peace, then third century brought a major sign of internal strain. In fact, in the beginning of the lesson, I have told that third century is boundary line. Before third century, the Roman Empire is known as early empire, and after third century, it is known as late Roman Empire. So the first and second century were known for its period of peace, and third century is known for starting of internal strain. Here internal strain means the boundary of the various tribal groups start civil war, army also not cooperating with the king, and a great strain of internal strain was prevailed. It was the third century. By that, from 230s, the empire found itself fighting on several fronts simultaneously. New and more aggressive dynasty emerged in 225, called themselves Sasanians. I have given the hint in the beginning of the lesson that Sapur, first a Sasanian ruler of Iran, proclaimed that he has annihilated a Roman army of 60,000, and he also captured the capital of Antioch. So we can say from 230s the empire found itself fighting on several fronts simultaneously. In Iran, a new and more aggressive dynasty emerged, and in 225 this was Sasanians, and we have discussed the regime established by Augustus, the first emperor in 27 BC, was called the Principate. Although the Augustus was the sole ruler and only real source of authority, the fiction was kept alive that he was actually only the leading citizen's principe in Latin, not the absolute ruler. Uh, if we talk about the prosperity of this empire, which we have discussed about the three century, third century, which was known for its division of the empire, early and late empire. When the Iranian ruler Sapur first proclaimed that he has captured the eastern capital of Antioch, uh, the Romans were forced to abandon much of their territory beyond the Danube, while the emperor of this period were constantly uh, in the field of against what the Roman called barbarians. The rapid succession of emperor in the 3rd century, 25 emperors in 47 years, is an obvious symptom of strain faced by the emperor in this period. So this was the 3rd century crisis. Uh, Let us talk another topic: gender, literacy, and culture. One of the more modern features of Roman society was the widespread prevalence of nuclear family. Adolescents didn't live with their families, and it was exceptional for adult brothers to share a common household. On the other hand, slaves were included in family as the Roman understood this. So there was importance of slaves in the family. By the late Republic, the 1st century, the typical form of marriage was one where the wife didn't transfer to her husband's authority but retained full rights in the property of her natal family. It means a wife for having the property of her mother, fathers, and after getting married, she also became the owner of the property of her husband's property. So, while the women's dowry went to the husband, the women were supposed to get the ownership of her parental property, of the property of her father after the death of her father. So, this was about the marriage system, which was generally arranged marriage, and the Roman women enjoyed considerably legal rights in owning and managing property. So, this was another unique feature of the Roman Empire. One important feature that was males married in their late 20s or early 30s, women married off in the late teens or early 20s. So there was an age gap between husband and wife, and this would have encouraged a certain inequality. So in marriage, there was age gap. As I have told you, the male generally used to get married in their late 20s or early 30s. Women were married off in late teens or early 20s. So this was the way how they used to go married, and generally marriage were arranged, and there is no doubt that women were often subject to domination by their husband. So we can say, on general, the conditions of women were not so good. If we talk about literacy, it is certain that rates of casual literacy varied greatly between different parts of empire. For example, in Pompeii, which was buried in the volcanic eruption in 79 CE, there is strong evidence of widespread casual literacy. So you can say in Pompeii, we have got the evidence that it was casual literacy, and this Pompeii city was this in buried in 79 CE, 79 Common Era. There is strong evidence of widespread casual literacy, and the wall of the main street of Pompeii often carried advertisement. It was generally in ironic. The cultural diversity of empire was reflected in many ways and at many levels in the vast diversity of religious cults and social deities. So, in nutshell, we can say the literacy was casual, and we have got a number of evidences about this literacy from Pompeii. If we talk about the language of Roman Empire, the Aramaic was the dominant language group of the Near East. It means in East, at least west of the Euphrates, Aramaic was the language. Aramaic was the language, and in Egypt, Coptic language was used. In Egypt, Coptic language was used. Punic and Berber in North Africa, Celtic in Spain and Northwest. So you can say Celtic was spoken in Spain and Northwest, Punic and Berber in North Africa, Coptic was spoken in Egypt. But many of these linguistic cultures were purely oral. They were not having written form, they were purely oral, at least until a script was invented of them. Armenian, for example, Armenian, for example, only began to written as late as 5th century, where there was already a Coptic translation of the Bible by the middle of the 3rd century. So this was all about literacy and languages. So in nutshell, we can say the literacy of Roman Empire was casual, cultural diversity was reflected. In Near East, Aramaic language was used. In Egypt, Coptic language was used. In North Africa, Punic and Berber language was used. Celtic is used in Northwest and in Spain. So this was about the language. If we talk about the economic expansion, the empire had substantial economic infrastructure of harbors, mines, quarries, brickyards, olive oil factories, wheat, wine, and olive. So, on this ground, we can say the empire was rich. It used to import olive oil in Dressel 20 from Spain. Amphora and different Dressel 20 containers were used to import the olive oil from Spain. Roman Empire also imported good quality of wine from Campania, good quality of wheat, rice. They also import from different part of the world. So the economic expansion of the empire was very good, and that is why this Roman Empire is known for its prosperity. as well as for its social cultural diversity. The cultural diversity was the unique feature that make the Roman Empire strong, and we have also learned about the marriage system, which was generally arranged. Marriage were done in early 20s, and we have also discussed about the nuclear family of Roman Empire. So these were topics which we have covered, and I have covered up this topic up to literacy and some topics of economic expansion of the Roman Empire. So in next video I will cover up the remaining topic of the chapter. Chapter is little bit big, large. So very interesting chapter is this Roman Empire. So I hope you have enjoyed my video, and you will ask your questions in the link I have provided. Thank you very much, one and all present.